Hi, y'all. My name is Mika Albania Osharal. Welcome to Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth for ourselves about religion, the kingdom of the Most High God and the church. Today it's part two of Word to Power. I started off this in the shop this morning, sometime around 2 o'clock, talking to my people, sharing the beautiful word of truth to you, to give you an understanding of who you are and why it's important for you to know the truth. Truth Matters Broadcasting is being viewed on 4 different platforms: Facebook and YouTube at Michael Sewell SR, TikTok at Ake Once More, and Instagram at Mekaal1. I want to play you a freestyle rap from King Los. I don't own the rights to any of this. This is freestyle here. And this is from the LA Leakers. I believe it's 106 point something, 106 FM. LA Leakers freestyle. King Los. I tell you, not really a rap guy where I really listen to a lot of rap music, but when you hear the message, you have to look at the message. And when you hear the message, you have to take note. So I want to just play off this 7 minute, I believe it's about 12-minute long. But I want you to hear the freestyle this guy gonna throw down. Towards the end of it, maybe around the 6-7 minute of the freestyle, you're gonna hear something that's gonna blow you away, man. Some culture, some lyrics. And this is going to really impact you in a way where if you just take a listen. But if you want to listen to the whole thing for yourself or you want to listen to it again, go on to YouTube and punch in Kinglos, KINGLOS, LA Leakers Freestyle 2019. He did this in 2019, man. I want y'all to hear this. You ready for this? Check this out. Be claimed the best to ever do it.
Man, listen.
B-More's in the building.
410.
It's crazy.
King Lowe's calls. Ravens.
The only question is, or the response is, say when.
Yeah, exactly.
Say when.
He said the Baltimore Ravens sent him here today.
Yeah, I pay in courtesy of the Ravens.
Okay.
West Baltimore.
Yeah.
Oh, you did. We just gonna jump right in it like this.
Get right to it, Loves.
We just gonna do it like that.
Let's go with that.
I don't even get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even get it. Okay, that's great. Look. Let me talk to him this hour, Mil.
Talk to it.
Look, they say it never comes to fruition unless the vision is crafted. My drive is relentlessly, repetitiously mastered. Progress is positive, pessimism is backward. Since failure ain't attractive, my next decision was drastic. I made it out of pitfalls strictly due to my passion. Supreme intellect, not to mention wisdom to match it. Name another nigga that put up 50 at practice. This shit is magic, even my exhibition is classic. Funny, I ain't end up broke like you predicted. It's 1,000 niggas like you, no need to be too specific. I outmaneuver goofies like you with a few decisions. When the proof is missing, you get reduced to a euphemism. Shit, the truth is wicked. I just threw a surprise party at a see-through mansion, my nigga. I'm stupid gifted. This food mixed with clear struggle and sheer hustle. I'm trying to stretch hands, string me too long and I tear muscle. Nigga, where was you when we was down and we slaved in kitchens? With my homie putting cut on that bird like it's Cajun chicken. I'm amazing. They parade by my crown, was it made to fit them? You got signed off my signature style. That's plagiarism. I'm Miyagi with it. Try to kick it like I can kick it. You just begging to get buried alive. But I can dig it, shit, cop the biscuit. Members block out and plot a visit. I'm in a Honda Civic with lip stickers. I watch him visit, plot and listen. Get close enough that I can kiss him. Since he pessimistic, I ain't running into my optimism. I'm making this quick video.
Commercial.
1 month since joining the cash.
I tell you, man.
And so what I wanted to do is
skip the commercial.
Oh, man.
come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. King Los. Come on, man.
I want you to just pay attention to what this guy's saying.
What else we got, baby? Oh,
You come on the LA Leakers show, man.
Oh,
They're going to be
my God.
fully prepared.
look,
King Los, LA Leakers.
man. Look, everybody in the 410.
Yeah, man.
Yo,
That was just
Yeah.
the warm up. That was just the warm up. Let's go.
look. To hip hop or Socrates, I'm top 5 in the 5th spot to mockery. The 5th pop, you do the Macarena or get rocked like Slipknot's discography. Your clique watching me, hoping I stumble. Your bitch watching me, you know it's a jungle. She like lions, not liars, nigga. I figured you'd be slow to rebuttal. She standing there drooling and dripping. You can only be humble, just be a gentleman. And put your jacket over the puddle. You poodle, that pun was a puzzle. I just want a Rapunzel. You know, she keep them extensions and she come with them bundles. Have fun with them double entendres. As I beg your pardon from the nonsense that's sponsored. I'm non-responsive, just armed with a conscience that's in and out dimensions like triangular shape. Isosceles flying saucers, defying the laws of physics. My mind's like a luxury prison. Ain't no escaping these bars exquisite. I breathe laws, beat art exhibits. I'm black magic like Shaq spinning off his pivot. Niggas reaching. Don't forget it. Even that metaphor was a metaphor for how it's hard to get it. Y'all ridiculous. Love to take facades and hype it. Like I ain't blessed with some shit I gotta guard my life with. A lot of rappers try hard to fight it, but they joints ain't nearly as tight as with this arthritis. My plight is, if you lyrically fit, you got something from me. Even niggas I wrote for, then they send me my fucking money. Well, I ain't got a song with such and such. You wonder, buddy? I'm the only one that got overlooked by his understudies. I feel disrespected to the core of my soul. My skill been perfected. No ignoring my glow. I will lift the weapon and perform my foe. Then still raise my son without ignoring my goals. My rap perfect the dreams that I see in the night. So I ask to project being, I'm a being of light. To be in this arena, I mean just to be in this light. You might need the work ethic of a Venus and Serena, then study the sun and Jupiter while Venus in between them. My city full of hustlers, you seen the demeanor. 88 dope boy, clean in the beamer, but it's deeper than a forefinger ring in his people. When his mama was a crackhead that thinks she was a diva, and his daddy was a hothead for the cream with a fever. You just trying to live life, nobody gets your plight. The reaper, the bitter constantly sweeter and sweeter. To be an achiever, top 3 from the heater. Plus the prison population, the streets and the sleeper. But you a smooth criminal. You can make that quarter flipping off one hit. You can turn a king to a leaner. Well, my cousin made 60 million and couldn't quit. It's a thin line between a fucking fiend and a dreamer, nigga. Woo.
Okay.
King Los.
Now I let you hear the whole thing because I didn't want to underscore or underchange or shortchange the brother. But here's what I want you to hear. I tell you about 4 to 6 minutes into it, you're gonna hear he's gonna he's gonna spit some lyrics on Black history, and he's gonna spit some lyrics on just kind of things that we might have taken for granted. I just want you to hear this, man. I just want you to hear this, but I wanted you to hear the whole thing because I didn't really want to shortchange him. All right, watch this now. Listen.
I want this to keep going, bro. Can we do one more beat?
This is
We
this is
can't let you leave without touching this beat.
this is where I wanted to start it, but like I said, I don't want to underchange the brother, man. King Los on LA Lakers Freestyle 2019. This is what I want you to hear. Check it.
Let me get into it.
King Los is here. The green juice is here.
Shit, highly professional, widely respectable mind and vision, cosmic celestial, extraterrestrial rhyme encryption, intergalactic perpetual cognitive sonic rhythm of a verbal god constructing astonishing composition. Man, my competition ceased to impress me. I need challenge, and mumble rappers only exist because I need balance. When I seek malice, revenge reeks of a sweet foulness. I defeat cowards, remove your shoes at the sheep's palace. I rebalance the solar system with chakra energy. The binary code in my carbon causes divinity and the glow in me. But I can't even grow in peace. These fake conscious niggas vibrating too low for me. Watch what you throw to me. Boy, ain't no hoe in me. I crack heads with this KC. It ain't Jodeci. Niggas best see me over. Can't nobody oversee me. I fry that nigga egg, you think he getting over easy. I'ma mix a whole Weezy. Andre, Biggie, Flows, and Yeezy. Pac and Pump and Ellen, Jeezy, Pepsi, Juicy, Gucci, Easy. 2 Live Crew infused with Stevie. Wonder how they view me, see see me. Rick James, James Brown, MJ Breezy, SNOOP for Sheezy, 8 Ball, MJ, GODB, DOB, or CMC, DMSC, PMD, Master P and CMB. The G and me, demands that you fit me with them. But in the scope of things, I'm way more 50 than M. They took my hopes and dreams and turned me to a savage. 21, Tony Montana, she gripping my shotty. She called me Poppy, I with the Bugatti. She ride the digits like it's a Ducati. She do some cardio, listen to Cardi, then turn on some Nicki and switch to a Bobby. Then she thinks she loaded, she vegan, do yoga, then roll up the blunt and we listen to Molly. Body called homicide, this is a body. I throw dick in the body, just to kick it, dick in the body, just to kick it with me a bitch through karate. Like, no, to this world, I'm a star. You ain't thorough, you a girl, you a broad. I got a click, it got a stick, I got a burrow, I got a rod. If nerds looking for beef like Harold and Kumar, I'm from a block where the methamphetamines move, and the crooked judicial systems never let the kings rule. Where history falsified and taught in every school to disconnect you from your culture like everything cool. See what having low self-esteem do? Got you praising the lineage of oppressors with recessive gene pools. Ooh. I guess from that perspective, we are foes. I mean, you niggas was accepted, we was chose. If you don't postulate what I aesthetically propose, and we don't vibrate, that means we diametrically oppose. Yo, I hope this message electrifies. The European be leveraging privilege through ethnic bias. If you ain't do no scholarship on this, don't dare speak. This that ether that's gonna separate leaders from mere sheep. It's like whipping on the back of a slave with bare feet when historically black college universities pledge Greek. It just isn't in your favor. It's a sick, twisted, sadistic, ritualistic nature. Look, you think it's odd they slave you if the slave master ain't served the same God they gave you? 400 years. Hold up. Yeah, hold up. Look. You think it's odd they slave you if the slave master ain't served the same God they gave you? 400 years later, and you hardly stable, and you turn around and beg that same God to save. Look, word to the sunrise. Homie, save yourself. Everything else, get a thumb drive. The young lives of black queens lost, misplaced, who've been raped, beaten, indoctrinated, and disgraced. We've been wet, shackled, and mutilated, put through degradation, disrespectfully viewed and hated. I mean truly flagrant, treated like shit in this fucking nation. Then in 1850, slaveholders came with this publication called How to Make the Ideal Slave. Now dig the vision. Rule number 1 was unconditional submission. Keep them in place with authority. Rule number 2 was create inferiority. And Ye said that slavery was a choice, but let's be real clear. Rule 3 was take away their voice and instill fear. Hell yeah, I can see the passion in your eyes. I admire your perseverance for your fashion and your grind. But rule number 4 is why that hat was our demise. You keep the slave interested in the master's enterprise. Because rule number 5 was the province of education, information, recreation. Look. You listening to me? Teacher, we listening. Teacher. The province of information. That's a psychological prison. Niggas have yet to come out because the slaves caught you. Man, hold up. That's a psychological prison. Niggas have yet to come out. If the slave master caught you learning, they cut your tongue out. Y'all hear me?
Yes.
If the slave master caught you learning, they cut your tongue out. Then segregation 100 years was so thorough. No wonder so many kids on drugs in this cold world. Nigga, shout out J. Cole.
And I first heard King Los drop this rhyme, this freestyle, man. I was like, wow, this guy can put it on. There's a couple of guys out there that can really, really put it on, man. And one of the guys that I just when in terms to lyrically blessed and can put lyrics together and take simple things and make it fit and make it stick. I think about the guy Enes. Enes is that guy, man. He's just crazy like that. And like I said, I don't listen to much rap music or anything like that. I don't really listen to any music really, because when you have to understand the messages in the music nowadays. So when you might listen to music because you like the guy, you like the rapper, or you like the singer, or you might listen to music because you like the words, or you might listen to music because you like the beat, the rhythm, right? But the message is also in the rhythm, and most people don't know this. Like the message is in the rhythm, and sometimes the rhythm catch you and it holds you, and it bites you. But the words go into your subconscious mind, and what people don't realize that music have the ability to bypass the cognitive mind and go into the subconscious mind. That is why when you hear music, you can pass a store and you hear a music. You're not thinking about the music. You're not focusing on the music. You're not meditating on the music. But as soon as you leave and go down the block, you start humming the darn music. And you're asking yourself, how is it that I'm humming the music? Or you come home, you're taking a shower, and you're playing that music in your mind. It's singing in your brain, because music is that powerful. It doesn't need your permission. And so one of the things that you must know that is holding us back is our music, the music that we listen to. You look at the kids today, man. You look at all the children today. You they Back in the days when our parents sent us to our room, we would be in pain because there's nothing in your room. You know, there was nothing in your room back in the days. The television was in the living room. We had one television in the living room. We never had a television when I was growing up in the bedroom. That was in the living room. So if your parents send it to your bed, you just literally go in there and looking up in the ceiling or read a book. There was nothing there. You understand what I'm saying? Now you send a child to their bedroom now. What they have? They got television, they got PS4, they got game, they got every damn thing in that bedroom. You know, if you don't go into that bedroom and bust open the door and like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? I haven't seen you since 2 o'clock. I haven't seen you since 9 o'clock. They can stay in their room all damn day because they have everything in their room. And it's us as parents who want to give our children what we never had, and we don't realize that in the process we're destroying our children. It's not what you left to them that's going to make the difference in their life, ladies and gentlemen. It's what you leave in them. So we're going to talk today about Word to Power, part 2. For those who are joining me on TikTok, we were talking about this earlier, and I had a lot of your attention. It was about 97 of you were engaged, but when I looked at the collective viewers, I had 1,600 of you listening to me this morning. I really appreciate you. Thank you. I don't know how many of you came back. I did say 8 o'clock, but I was in here doing some things, and I realized, oh, it's 8:15, so I passed the mark. So maybe a lot of you probably gone to your next entertaining adventure. But I want to talk to you about word to power. A word to power. My name is Maker Albania Osharal, and welcome to Truth Matters Broadcasting. Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth about religion, the kingdom of the Most High God, and the church. Um, Shalom to you, my brother. Shalom to you. So, all right. So here we go. Let's get into it. As you can see, I have the name Yahoo written on my forehead, on my hat, on my head. And most people will look at that today and they pronounce it Yahoo, Yahweh, Yode, Vave. They pronounce it all different type of way. We pronounce it Yahoo. Why? Because we're children of Yahushual. We're children of Yahushual. Now, we're going to get into this. And for those who are joining me on TikTok, if you have 1,000 viewers and you would like to, if you have 1,000 followers and you would like to come in and have the conversation with me, I am good with it. I just want you to just have the respect for the viewers and help me not to violate community guidelines. All right. But if you don't, and you don't have the viewers, or you would like to call into the studio, the number is 207-241-2317. 207-241-2317. We want to give everybody an opportunity to speak. You know, we want to hear from you. We also want you to share your light on things, because here's the thing. We all have light, and we have to decipher what is true light from what is light just being shone. All right. And we have to understand that the adversary is also called the light bearer. So he's sharing some light too, but the problem with his light is darkening. It's sheer in deception, and it's designed to crush us and take us out and have us lose our time. Yes, my love. It's snowing. Again. Oh man. How many inches were we expecting, my love? What did they never say? Is the flakes coming down really big? Oh my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something, man. I'm ready to leave this place. I listen. I love the snow. I love the snow. I love watching. I remember the first time I saw snow. I came to this country in the year 1990, and let me tell you something. I remember we came here. We came at night. It was beautiful, and in the morning it was snowing and we ran out there. We didn't have no shirt on. It was crazy. I ran outside with my mother's calling. I said, "Come back, boy. You're gonna get sick." We were just so excited to see it because we've never experienced snow in Jamaica where I'm from. It was it snowed there one time. It snowed there in the I think in the early 50s or so. It snowed one time. Well, a snow shower came over Jamaica once. So, but I never experienced snow. And so when we came here, it was beautiful. And I love snow ever since. And now I'm living in a part of the country where it snows all the time. I mean, in Maine, it snows a lot here. And it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. But when you are going to clean that bad boy, when you have a huge driveway and huge sidewalk around the house and walkway, yeah. And when all the boys are gone, having 7 children, and you're down to one baby girl now, you know what I mean? All the boys are gone. You got to go out there and do it yourself. You know what I mean? So at 51, I don't want to shovel no snow. But if you look at some of my videos on Facebook, I put up some videos and I'm crying. Gotta shovel this. It's not my life, But yeah, that's what it is. So my wife just told me it's snowing. All right. Alalo at y'all. All right, let's get into it. So why word to power is because we're dealing with Black History Month. Black History Month. So let me give some shout out to some of you guys. Really thank you guys who are following me on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for following. Don't forget to like and share, and don't forget to share this with your friends and family and neighbors because I got something to say. And what I got to say will freaking bust you up. It's not your custom. What I got to say, ladies and gentlemen, is not your custom. So you're not going to hear something from me that you normally hear. What you're going to hear from me is going to make you go, this guy's crazy, flip the channel and move on. Or, man, this is interested, let me hear more. You might not accept it, but it's going to make you think. And if I can get you to think, I can get you to think. If I can just get you to think, because you see, ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest things with our government today and with our churches and religion and our pastors and preachers, the goal is for you not to think. The goal is for you to hear. You're not taught how to think. You're taught what to think. You're not given the opportunity to think for yourself. You were taught and bred and conditioned to be obedient doers of whatever the establishment tells you to do. Even at work, you go to work and you work and you see a better way to do it. Your boss said, "No, I want you to do it this way." And you're looking at the boss and say, "I found a better way to do it." And say, "Nope, I don't really care about that. I want you to do it the way I'm telling you to do it." Because what? He wants to strut himself and make him and show him that he has power over you, right? But you were conditioned from a child, from the day you were born, to do what you're told. And it start with us it start with our parents. Because here's the thing, our parents was conditioned too, and they were conditioned, their parents was conditioned. So everything that passed down to us was conditioned and taught to them, and they pass it down to us. Now, some of the things indirectly that was passed down to us were not taught by our parents, but we saw our parents doing these things, therefore we do it. And then what we do to our children, every generation wants to be better than the generation before. Every generation wants to be better than the generation before. But we pass down a lot to our children directly and indirectly. I'm learning now, ladies and gentlemen, it's not what I left to my kids that's going to be of most important, but it's what I left in my kids. So I'm learning to leave things inside of them so that when the time comes, they'll be ready. All right. So let's get into this. So Black history. First and foremost, you must understand that you're really not black, right? There's no such person as black people because we weren't created black people. Black people is a stigma put on you because of your slave master. So when he say you're a black man, that is put onto you by your slave master. Now I'm proud to be black because black does have a history, and I'm going to show you that history biblically where you come from. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand where you come from. You have to understand who you are. Because when you understand where you come from and who you are, you're going to see life differently, and you're going to see the things that you were not taught. If you can read through the line and read through the lineage, you will see some things. So I'm proud to be a black man, and man, listen to me. I wouldn't want to be anything than black. You know what I mean? Even though that's a stigma put onto you by your slave masters. The Most High God didn't create you a black man like we understand black man today. He created you a man, and out of you, the black melanin man, comes every gene pool known to mankind. We are the first created. We are the first created. When you look at the dirt, the Bible says, the scripture says that the Yahweh created man from the dust of the earth. He created man from the dust of the earth. Now you got to understand, there's no white dirt. All right, it's either brown or black or dark brown. So when the first man looked just like me, okay, the first man looked like me. Inside of my gene pool is every nation on earth. Every nation is in my gene pool. But if you look at this is the dominant. This is the dominant gene pool right here. You're looking at, right? So when you understand these things and you come to a realization of who you are, you will see the one who created you. Because guess what? When you look at the movies and you look at the heroes and you look at the biblical characters, they are all white characters. So when you pray and you pray in the name of Jesus, you're praying to a white man. Or you're praying in the name of a white God. Listen, if he was sent to his people and he's white, and he says, I was sent to the lost sheep of Yaosharel, then the conclusion is that this white man was sent to some white people in the land of Yaroshalem, aka Jerusalem, aka Israel. Right? So we have to look and see the truth. We have to really start to not be brainwashed to believe something that our slave masters gave us. According to King Los, right? We're enslaved by this white God. The ship that come over there was one of those ships was called Jesus. Brought us to enslavement, and then the slave master gave you the God they worship. And we worship and pray to the same God of our slave masters because we believe that God is white. Now, people say, well, it doesn't matter whether he's white, black, blue, red, or green because he's God. Listen to me, man. You don't know nothing. So sit down and shut up. All right? Sit down and shut up. Because if it doesn't matter, you first have to come to the conclusion that this God, when he came to Masha, aka the one you call Moses, he says, I am the God of your fathers. I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So the mere fact that he says that, the mere fact that he say, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you have to know that he's being specific. He's being specific. Now, let's look at this specific. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this God and see why did he introduce himself as the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Why did he do that? Why he never come and said, I am the Almighty God? Why never he didn't come and say, I am the Alpha, the Omega? Why did he introduce himself as the God of your fathers? What this have to do with Black history? Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at Black history today, all you see, even this Black History Month, keep your mind reverse on slavery. 1619, when slavery began in America. In the Caribbean islands, when slavery began in the 1500s. In the 1400s, when slavery started to be scattered all over Europe. That's where Black History Month take you. It takes you to the struggles of what happened here, to the civil rights movement and the injustice that happened to Black people in this country. And it says, here is your history. And what was taught in school is the Martin Luther, the Malcolm X, the Harriet Tubman. That is what's been taught. But Black history goes from the beginning of time. You're not taught that. You're not taught that Black history goes back from the beginning of time, from when the Most High God said, let us make man in our own image, after our own likeness. We don't understand. Your Black history goes back from that point. The first man, Adam. That's Black history. Black people did not come from white people, nor Chinese people, nor Indian people, nor. No, ladies and gentlemen. Every nation on earth came from Black people. When you can understand the simplicity of that, it's going to change your perspective of how you look at things. Because from 1619 to today, you have been brainwashed into believing that the white man is the king, the white man, the system of whiteness is right and the system of blackness is wrong. Your contribution to America is slavery. But if you really look at your history, we were forbidden to read books because in the books were the history that was written. You know, Yahushua fought the devil by simply saying, it is written. It is written. And so you have to go look and find the historical evidence of where it is written. And once you find the historical evidence of where it is written and who it's written about and who it's written for, then truth will come to you. Your mind will open. But you see, when your mind is open, guess what? The world becomes a shadow because you become the light. Your eyes open like the Matrix. Now you can actually see the truth. And ladies and gentlemen, the truth can be seen, it can be touched, and it can be felt. Now, when you preach like this, when you speak like this, people think you're causing dissension. Is it dissension to say what we were given was not the truth? That we've been living a lie our whole time? That you are more than what you're more than what they say you are? We're at a place now today, ladies and gentlemen, where you don't have to go to a library and open 50 books to find the truth. You can Google it. You can speak to a darn device. Siri, what is this? What is that? I'll tell you. Information is there. So if you don't know, it's because you don't want to know. Because what people must understand, and what I'm expecting you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that knowing change your life. The power is in the information. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is information. And the Most High God said, our higher power said, my people are destroyed for lack of power, lack of information, because we've believed the lie for so long. And some famous poet, this famous writer says, if you tell a lie for long enough, people will start believing it. And here's the thing, if you tell it to generation upon generation upon generation, what do you think is going to happen? It's like the story of the pot roast, where the young man saw his mother cooking the pot roast and noticed that every time his mother cooked the pot roast, she cut both ends of the pot roast before she cooks it. And one day the young man said to his mother, Mom, why do you cut both ends? Because in his eyes, you're wasting the meat. Why do you cut both ends of the pot roast before you cook it? And the mother said to the son, I have no idea. Your grandmother, my mother, your grandmother, that's how the way she cooked it. That's the way I was taught to cook pot roast. So they both went to grandma and said, Grandmother, why do you cut both ends of the pot roast before you cook it? And she also said, I don't know. I was taught that way. And they all went to great grandmother. Great grandma, well, let's go back to four generations. And the great great grandmother said, why are you guys doing that? You see, a tradition she started, but never explained it to her children, become a tradition for generation. And the fourth generation don't know the truth. So when the great 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 grandmother explained the pot roast, he said, I cut both ends of the pot roast because the pot was too small. So by cutting one end of the pot roast, you would cut too much of the pot roast. The pot roast would be lopsided. So I cut both ends of the pot roast to give it an even cut to fit in the pot. Now, 4 generations been doing this for 4 generations, not knowing the reason behind it. What I'm telling you is that what has been handed down to us, what have been handed down to us for generations, not for generation, for millennia. What was handed down to us, ladies and gentlemen, is lies, deception. And we did not understand because we've never questioned it. Let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever questioned why do you do the things you do? Have you ever questioned why do you eat with knife and fork? Why do you need 3 different forks to eat a meal? You were taught that. Have you ever questioned, ladies and gentlemen, why do we start a new day at midnight? Has anyone ever questioned that? Why is a new day start at midnight? That every year, the turning of the year, we drop a ball and everybody count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Everybody celebrating. And we said it's the new year. It's a new day, but it's still dark. Why do we call it midnight? And at the turn of the clock, we say midday, but it's still dark. When you look at the scriptures, the Most High God said, the Most High Allah Aim said, the higher power said, the darkness he called night. Who said that? Who said that? He said it. The darkness he called night. And the light he called day. Who said it? I didn't say it. I wasn't even there. I didn't create it. I come into this world, I see darkness. I come into this world, I see light. And I was taught, and I believe, and I behold, the light is daytime. And the darkness is nighttime. So who in their right mind make a new day at midnight? No one has ever questioned that. Have you ever questioned that? Who told you that there was 24 hours in a day? Who told you that? If the light is day, how can there be 24 hours in a day? Come on, somebody. When the lights stay up 12 hours. But you never question that. Because someone told you there's 24 hours in a day, you believed it. I believed it. Never question it. Why would I question it? The world run on a 24-hour cycle. But that's not how the Most High God created it. The darkness he called night. The light he called day. So when darkness come upon the earth, it is night. You waiting for 12 midnight to say it is Wednesday. 12 midnight to say it is Thursday. 12 midnight to say it's Friday. A matter of fact, have you ever questioned where did Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday comes from? Have you ever questioned the names of the days of the week? Where did that come from? If this is our guide and this is the infallible word of God, show me the names of the days of the week in here. If this is the infallible word of God, show me the names of the month of the year in here. So, ladies and gentlemen, if it's not in here, then who put it in our lives? Who put Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in our lives when the Most High God, the creator of heaven and earth, never named any day but one? He blessed one day and he named one day. And that day he blessed the name, he called it Shabbat. Every other day he numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 7 he called Shabbat. He hallowed it, blessed it, sanctified it, and he made it a sign. Did you know that the seventh day is a sign between the creator of the heavens and his people? That the seventh day Sabbath that was created at creation is a sign to his people, that they may know that he is Elohim, our higher power, who makes us holy. You can find that in Exodus 31, 12 through 30. You can find all over the scriptures, man. It's a sign. But it's not only a sign, it's a seal. It's not only a seal, it's a token. It's not only a token, it's a mark. Did you know that the Sabbath is a mark? It's a mark. Here's something you may or may not know. It's also a covenant. Covenant. So are you questioning these things? So now, how is it that the Most High God forsake his mark, forsake his seal, his token, his covenant, his sign, that we may know that he is our higher power who makes us holy? How is he going to forsake that and gave us Sunday? Whose mark is Sunday? Who gave you Sunday? Who told you Sunday is the day of rest and holy convocation? Who gave that to you? Where did that come from? And can you show me that here explicitly here in the so-called word of God? Can you show it to me? So how did you get bamboozled into believing that a new day starts at midnight, that the Sabbath is no longer applicable for people living today? How did you get bamboozled in calling Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Do you ever do some research on these things? What's the origin of the name of the days of the week? You should Google that. Like I told you, if you don't know, it's because you don't want to know. Who told you that Jesus is the name given by which you must be saved? And this one is written here in the so-called Word of God. Yet there was no letter J until the year 1524. There was no letter J. J was not in existence. There was no pronunciation. Even if you put the I or the Y there, it doesn't pronounce the letter J. Even if you were to put G there, it doesn't pronounce the letter J. So who told you that Jesus is the name given by which you must be saved? Who gave you that story? There was no letter J until the year 1524, sometime after the year 1524. So if Jesus was the name given, it would have to be given at his birth, way down in the first century. See, we're talking Black history. Who told you that this so-called Jesus, this so-called anointed one, Mashiach, Messiah, who told you he was white? Who gave you that image? Where did it come from? These are things you have to look at, because if you want truth, you have to see black. If you truly want truth, you have to see black, baby. The truth is in the black. And it's crazy. It's funny to me now because I was fooled and bamboozled on these things, so I didn't know any better. Because I was born into a Christian country and a Christian culture. But from a young boy, I knew there was a calling on me because people keep telling me you're called by the Most High God. I just didn't know what I was called to do. And I got sick of it. I got sick of people telling me, you're called, you're called. And I said, I wish somebody would tell me what I'm called to do. Because to be called, that's what many are called, but few are chosen. So I don't want to just be called. I want to have instructions, information. And let me tell you something, man. This whole scripture is about instructions. Listen to this. Listen to this instruction here. I like to go over the same scriptures over and over again. Because if I give you solid food, you'll choke on it and die. So I have to give you milk. Seriously, give you milk. And if I can give you an understanding, then I can start to pour solid food down your throat. I can't give you everything because it's gonna destroy you. I can't pull up the weed, because if I pull up the weed, the wheat is going to be destroyed. So I gotta take my time and give you unctions of this thing, small pieces, until your teeth and your jawbone get strong to swallow the big portion of the meat. Exodus 19 and of verse 4, you have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bear you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine, and you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, a holy nation, and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Yahushua. Who is he talking to? It's very important to understand who is he talking to. Because if you don't understand who is he talking to, then you're going to lose the essence of true worship. You see, there were Palestinians present in the world at this time. There were Ethiopians present. There was Egyptians present at this time. And they all worship other gods. But we must understand, who is he talking to? He's talking to the children of Ya'oshural, aka so-called Israel. And you must understand that Israel is not those who are posing to be Israel. No, ladies and gentlemen. Because there is such thing as the Deuteronomy 28 curse. And I dare any one of you to go read Deuteronomy chapter 28. I dare you to read it. Deuteronomy chapter 28 pinpoint the curse of the children of Ya'oshural to this day. And there's only one set of people on the planet that fits the entire curse. And it's those who can chase their lineage through the bottleneck of the Atlantic slave trade. There's some black history for you. Those who can chase their lineage through the Atlantic slave trade are the children of the promise seed of Abraham. You are the actual bloodline. Now, why is that important? It is important, ladies and gentlemen, because then you're going to get a grip of who you are and who your God is. So I dare you to read Deuteronomy 28 and then look at the Atlantic slave trade and ask yourself the question: the descendants of our ancestors who came through the Atlantic slave trade, that curse has passed down to us. When the Most High God came to Abraham and called Abraham, he made a covenant with Abraham. And he told Abraham, this covenant that I'm going to make with you is for you and for your children. The covenant is for our ancestors and their children. The gift is for you and for all of us. It goes all the way down. And so you must understand these things, because by understanding these things, going to put you in a place where your eyes will be open. It will put you in a place where your eyes will be open and you will see the truth. Now, after Adam, the first man and the first black man and black woman on the planet, after they sinned, there was a sentence. There was an investigative judgment, and then there was a sentence. The devil, or the serpent, was sentenced to crawl on his stomach and to eat dust. To eat what? Dust the rest of its life. Now, what were we created out of? Dust, the dust of the earth, right? We were created out of the dust of the earth. So who is the devil? Who the devil wants to consume? Us. He was created to eat dust. And he was sentenced to eat dust, right? And we are created out of the dust. So who do you think he's coming after? Who do you think he wants to deceive? Revelations 12:9 tells us the serpent, the dragon who deceived the entire world. The entire world is deceived. He's coming after us. He's coming to eat our supper. Keep us in the dark. After he was sentenced and punished, the Most High God said, the Most High Elohim, our higher power, said, the seed of the serpent, he will put enmity between the serpent and the woman. So where's the enmity? Where's the hostility between the serpent and the woman? And the serpent's seed shall strike the heel of the seed of the woman, and the seed of the woman shall crush his head. So there's a constant hostility, constant war against the seed of the woman and the serpent. Now, how does the serpent get his seed into the world? Through the vessel or the womb of the woman. Because remember now, when man sinned, he became sin. And inside of that man was good and evil. So the man was able to produce good and evil. And that's why Cain become evil and Seth becomes good. Seth was the righteous one. Cain was the evil one. And if you notice something, Cain was the firstborn. I tell you, man, you must understand these things. These things are. Cain slew his brother. Let's just get to the meat of it. So Cain slew his brother because he didn't do what was right. A mark was put on him, and then he went off to build a city. Then another child was raised up. Abel, Seth, was raised up. And the earth populated. The earth was made in righteousness. Man and his woman was created in righteousness. But sin enters the subconscious. Sin enters the mind through disobedience. And then the world was populated with good and evil. The man know good and evil, but he choose evil. He choose not to worship the Creator. He choose to worship himself, because remember now, the temptation was you can be like God. You can be like the Creator, the higher power. You don't need no higher power. I can do it myself. I can obey myself and do what I want, do as thou wilt. And so man run with that, being his and her own gods, and go off, do all manner of things, because they were led by the deception starting in the Garden of Eden. So the earth becomes corrupt now. The Most High God was upset that he made man on the planet. And so he called this guy Adam. He called this guy Noah. Knock. His actual name is Knock. And he called Knock and he said, listen, the end of all flesh has come. And I'm going to destroy man that I made on this earth with every living creature. And you know the story. He commanded him to build an ark, and he did. In Genesis 6, verse 22, thus did Noah according to all that Yahweh, our higher power, commanded him, so did he. So if you want a abundant life, you got to do what the Most High commanded you. It's all about his voice. If you obey my voice, he says, then you shall be unto me a peculiar treasure. Above. Don't forget that now. Above all people. So if we don't do his command, where are we going to go? We're going to go above? No, we're going to go below. And that's why we're in slavery today. That's why we're in slavery today, because we have disobeyed. Watch this. All right, so after the Noah and his 3 sons and their wives went into the ark, and the earth was divided. We think the earth was divided into 3 sectors because Noah have 3 sons, right? But if you look at the curse, Kam, they call him Ham. It's actually spelled with a K. Kam, it's Kham. Thank you to the ravenous bird. Was cursed. And because he was cursed, he gets to live in the tent of his brothers. And he was cursed to serve his brethren. So when you think of that, the curse was he was going to be servants to his brother. Now, Kam is the second brother, right? He was the second brother. Shem, not Sham. I mean, not Shem. Sham was the baby. All right. He was cursed. Ham becomes the darker race. The Ethiopians, the Egyptians, the Canaanites, the Arabians. That is the lineage of Ham. The Africans, okay, a darker complexion. Okay, Shem, going from Sham lineage that came Abraham. The earth again becomes populated, and when you look at 11, you will see what happened in Genesis 11. One man rose up, and his name was Nimrod, who was the grandson of Ham. And in his rebellion, he became this mighty hunter before Yahweh. And because of his ability to fight and conquer, he conquers the world, and the world was under one government. Y'all hearing me? The world was under one government. It was a church state government. Spoke one language. In their rebellion, listen to the rebellion now, the Tower of Babel. That's where it comes from, the Tower of Babel. Babel means confusion, because the Most High God, our higher power, the Most High Elohim, confused the language. He was the one who babbled the language. Everyone spoke the original language of Gabari, the original source language, until this day. Genesis 11, and the world and the whole earth was one language. The whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it come to pass, as they journey from the east. So where they coming from? The east. They're coming from the Philippines. They're coming from that side, Asia. They journey from the east. You know, we read in the scriptures that the wise man saw the star where? In the east. So if they saw the star in the east, where the wise men coming from? People think that the wise men came from the east. They did not come from the east. They saw the star in the east. So the wise man has to be coming from the west. And they followed the star to the east where the child was. Watch this now. Where were they journeying from? The east, Asia Minor. A lot of people think after the flood, people think the ark rests in Africa, that Africa is the motherland. Africa is not the motherland. Africa is not the birthplace of creation. I used to believe that, man, because after all, Africa is the biggest continent on the map. Did you know that? How many of you knew that? You're looking at the world's map, you will see Africa, in the middle there, and it's just about yay big. But ladies and gentlemen, Africa is the biggest continent on the planet. You got to look at the Peters map. We were all deceived into thinking Africa is down under, but Africa is up. You got to look at the map the other way. You don't understand that those who controlled those powers and principalities, those who control the system, want you to think you are the minority, but you are actually the majority. They want you to think you're the smallest. You come from nothing. You come from slavery, but you come from power. The actual Africa, look at the Peters map and you will see Africa is the largest continent on earth. Why do you think they have fly zone? Why do you think there's fly zone? Why do you think it takes you so long to go to Africa? Take you 18 hours to go here and 20 hours to go here. To fly and land and fly and land. Because if you fly straight, you're going to see landmass. And you see landmass, you look at the map. Because from the air, you can look at the landmass and you can pretty much figure out where you're at on the planet. That's why they make you fly a certain place. That's why you have fly zone. Everything is monitored and everything is hidden from you because you can't fly this way. So in order to get here, you have to go around like a triangle just to get to this place so that you won't see the truth. But I want you to pay attention to the verse 2. And it came to pass that they journeyed from the east. They came from the east. So if they came from the east, they were pushing. And watch this now. They journeyed from the east and they found a plain in the land of Shinar. So you have to go find out where Shinar is. And they dwelled there. And they say one to another, go to, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly. And they had bricks for stone and slime that they for mortar. And they said, go to, let us build a city and a tower whose top may reach to the heavens, and let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad throughout the face of the whole earth. So what was going on there, ladies and gentlemen? The Most High God tell Adam and Eve, the father and mother of creation, he says, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. The commandment was to replenish the earth. So you can't stay one place. If you're going to replenish, you can't stay one place. You got to move out. You got to move out. As you get bigger, move out. As you get bigger, move out. As you get bigger, move out. But these men said, no, we're not going to obey God. We're not going to obey the higher power. We're going to make a name for ourselves. In other words, we're going to be our own God, do what we want, when we want. Now, what did it say here? It says, they journey, come make us bricks throughout. And they said, come let us build a city and a tower. Remember, I told you the first city that was mentioned in the scriptures, we weren't meant to live in cities. That was not the plan of the Most High for us. We were supposed to live in the Garden of Eden. We were supposed to live in the presence of the Most High. Living in cities take you away from the presence of the Most High God. You should be living in the countries. When you're in the countryside, you can hear the bird chirps. You can hear the insects. You can see nature. You can see the stars. How many of you living in the city actually look up at the stars? You don't. Because in the cities is designed to self-sustain. It's designed to keep you occupied. It's designed to keep you entertained. It's designed to hold and grab you and keep you fixed on a cycle like this. That's what a city does. It's a city is a place that take your mind away from nature, from the Most High God. So the first city that was built by Cain. And here's grandson come doing the same thing again. And then verse 4, and they said, go let us make a tower whose top may reach to the heaven, and let us make for us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. So what they were doing is that they were in rebellion, ladies and gentlemen. They were in rebellion against the Most High God. If y'all watching me, don't forget to put those hearts and emojis up, all right? Because here's the thing, that create more opportunity for people to hear. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you to share this with your friends and neighbors because they need to hear this because they have to be set free as well. Okay? So they were in rebellion against the Most High God. Now, all these people are black people. Okay? They were in rebellion of the Most High God. So what did he do? Verse 6, and or Adonai say, behold, or our higher power said, behold, the people is one. The people is what? One. You know, when we hear the word one, we think one is plural. He said the people is one. The people were large. It was a large number of people. It was a multitude of people. But they were one in their rebellion. They become one in their actions. They become one with the leader. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who is leading, you know who is causing you to be led astray? Your government, your pastors, preachers, teachers, leaders. That's what holding you astray. That is what Satan is using. Because what you don't understand, there's a government within a government. There's a government within the government. So when you're cursing the government and you're blaming the government, you don't understand that there's a government within that structure. What you don't know is that there is a church within your church. They don't worship the same God you worship. They speak in tongues and fake tongues, blah, 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 and they speak the name of Jesus, but they're not speaking of the God of Abraham, because Jesus is their God. And Jesus is the deception that was given to you to think that you're actually worshiping the true Messiah. There is a fake so-called Messiah, and they name him Jesus. And they dress him up in a white garb and give you the story behind him. And they take some of the true Messiah's word, mix it in with their false words, and gave that to you. You think you're worshiping the God, but you're not. So there's a Messiah that's impersonated Messiah. Many shall come in my name, he says. So those words are it's not looking for another Jesus to come. What you don't realize is that those words were written by the true Messiah, and the one who is in his place now, who they call Jesus, is that person that come in his name. But the name is not Jesus. The name is Yahoshua. But what you've got is Jesus. Because what you've got is this white guy with blonde hair and blue eye, and he's not the people of the book. So you're worshiping a false God. You just don't know it. Right? So what did they say here? What verse 5 says? And Yahweh said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do, and nothing will be restraint from them, which they have imagined to do. Why did he destroy the earth in the first place? If you go back to Genesis 6, he said all the inclination of the imagination of the thoughts of the heart. Where's the heart? Don't point to your chest. Your chest is not where the heart is. This is the heart that pumps the blood through your vessel. It cannot think. It cannot make decisions. All it does is pump. Boop, 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 boop. That's it. It keeps the blood flowing through your vein, and that's all it does. Just like your lungs keep air coming through your body and into your bloodstream. That's all it does. Every function in the body just does that. Your heart is your brain. So when the Bible talks about the heart, it's talking about the brain. It's talking about the subconscious mind. Why do you think the enemies love music so much? Because music sends a message into the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is fertile ground. It grows anything that is planted in there. So he destroyed the world in Noah's time because the hearts of the people on the planet becomes evil. Every thought of their imagination was evil. In other words, they reach a place where the Most High God could not no longer reach them without violating his own command by violating their will. See, their will was to continue in their rebellion. And so the Most High God come over here again. He says, because of one language, they began to do this. Let us go down and confuse the language that they may not understand one another's speech. So the higher power scattered them abroad from hence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. So what happened? And verse 9, therefore it is named Therefore is the name of it called Babel or Babylon, because the higher power did there confound the language of all the earth, and from hence did the higher power scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. So I want you to understand. So all the earth, all the people on the planet has corrupted themselves and joined in the rebellion against the Most High God. And he came down and he confounded their languages, and then he scattered them. So he scattered them. So a man is not separated by the color of his skin. A man is separated by the language he speaks. Because back then there was no separation. And besides, when you look at the genealogy, back then, there were no white people back then. Yo, it's crazy to say this, but you have to look at the genetic structure of the mutation of the gene from gene pool, haplogroup, DNA. You have to look at it's a mutation. It mutates because it carries a generic code. A code is written on your DNA. That's why you can chase your lineage far back. You know which part of the planet you come from. All right. So that genetic pool came out of Adam, and then Adam changed. And after sin, that stopped mutating. And as time goes down to Noah, there is a mutated gene. And then it comes down now to Abraham, and it mutates again. And so now you can chase from that mutated gene, you can chase the lineage in the DNA by learning the code and the haplogroup. It's crazy, man. That is why the scripture will tell you, and this one begot this one. If you read Genesis 11 and verse 10, these are the generation of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begot Arash. I can't even pronounce half these words. Afatak, 2 years after the flood. 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begot this guy 500 years, and then he begot more sons and daughters. And he goes down and down. Some of these names I can't even pronounce. I don't even have to try to pronounce it. I just can't pronounce it right now. But there's a genealogy, and it shows you the genealogies of Shem. So now we're going to follow this genealogy all the way down to 27, verse 27. Then these are the words, these are the generation of Tarak. Tarak begot Abram. You see? Abram. And it's come all the way down. And all the way down. So now we're going to look at Abram. So we see that Abram comes from the line of Shem. Abram comes from the line of Shem. Right? So we're going to look at Abram. So now the world is scattered, ladies and gentlemen. The world is now, the Most High God scatter all the people who was of one language in rebellion against him. He scattered them all over the earth. And in their rebellion, though they speak a different language, ladies and gentlemen, they were still in rebellion. They did not worship the God of heaven, the higher power. They worship themselves, and they worship Satan, because Nimrod also become a god after he dead, when Nimramis said he has risen up in the sun and has birthed her and have this immaculate birth. So don't think the Jesus Mary story is where that immaculate birth come from. That the Jesus Mary story was given to us back in the Garden of Eden, when the seed of the serpent and the seed of the woman. So Satan understand that the seed of the woman would be a child that would come and lead the people of Yahusha back to the Father by using the Torah, by using his written word. So he's, from this point on, he tried to imitate that. And so the Father, Mother, Son, and the triunity, our Trinity of God, started right here at the Tower of Babel. Now you must understand, the people of the world that couldn't speak to each other, couldn't communicate. What did they do before they separate? They were in one rebellion. They was in rebellion against the Most High, but they could no longer understand each other. So what did you think they used to communicate? They used signs. They used signs. And up to this day, ladies and gentlemen, they kept in constant communication through sign. And that sign, ladies and gentlemen, was called sun worship. They worship the sun. The sun. The Son of God. The sun. That and the moon. Sun and the moon come together and birth a child. And that child becomes the savior. And throughout all of rebellion, you will see the sundial in every nation on the planet. If you look at the Japanese flag, what do you see? The big sun. If you look at the Buddhists, if you look at the Egyptians, if you look at all of the nation symbols today, all the Apis bowl, all of these things, ladies and gentlemen, all the cars and all the emblems on the cars and the computer, even the Apple computer. Look at that. What do you notice here with the Apple phone? What do you notice on the Apple? What do you notice about the Apple? It's a bit Apple. Bit. So you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, every symbol, every sign is a mark. It's a sign, it's a seal. And this bit apple is speaking in rebellion. Who bite the apple? Eve and Adam. Eve first, then Adam. All these signs. You look at the emblem on the Mercedes Benz. The very word Mercedes is a goddess. Did you know that? The word Mercedes. The Apis bull on the Toyota emblem. What do you all think these things are? The Nike sign on the shoes. What do you think these things are? They're image of rebellion. People don't realize this. Everything in this world is centered on those who worship Lucifer. If you go to Matthew 4, you will see that in Matthew 4, the Mashiach tells the devil, the devil told the Mashiach that if he bows down and worship him, he will give the Mashiach the kingdoms of the world. So what did he promise his worshipers? That they will have the kingdoms of the world. And so this family of bloodline of people, all the presidents are related. Every single president of the United States are related. Did you know that? All the leaders of the world are related by either blood or secret societies. The world is confederate, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you can't escape this no matter where you go, unless you go in the hands of Yahweh in the wilderness. That's the only way you can escape the judgment that's coming. You have to go back to the wilderness. But the world is in confederacy. Why do you think you call it the The very word our United Nation, the symbol of the isn't it? It's in rebellion against the Most High God. Show me a country on the planet that obeys the 10 commandments. Just the 10 commandments. Just show me any country on the planet. Any country on the planet that obeys the 10 commandments. You can't show me one. The world is in confederate against the Most High God. All right, so they kept in constant, and they intermingled themselves, and they're still in the rebellion. That's why the laws that are made is against the laws of the Most High. The Most High law trumps all law. And what you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, what you don't realize is that you are governed to live by law. You cannot escape it. No matter what you think, no matter how you think, you can't escape law. You have to obey law. You have to obey or disobey law. That's just part of life. You are designed. The universe is run on law. There's no such thing as evolution. It's false information to make you think that laws create itself. No, law, if there's a law, there have to be a lawgiver. So don't let any science or any teachers fool you. And law was created to govern. You can't have government without laws. Okay, now. So now that you understand that the world now is in rebellion against the Most High God. So what is he going to do? Because he is the one true God and there's none like him. Is he going to give the world that he created and the people that he created on the planet over to another God? Is he going to fold up his skirt's tail, or he's not a female? He's not a male either. Is he gonna is he gonna um is he gonna fold up his tail and run? And you know what I'm talking about. Just expression of speech here. Is he gonna fold his hand and say, okay, you got it? Is there anybody more powerful on him on the planet? Is anybody can rule over him? Can anyone advise him and say, you shouldn't do that, or you should do this? Does he not claim to know all things? Does he not claim to be omnipresent? Does he not claim that there's none higher than him? So how is he going to give up his domain to someone else? So what is he going to do without violating his own commands? He called a guy that lived on the planet, from the smallest nation on earth. And he said, listen to me. Here it is. Genesis chapter 12. Because remember now, at this point, no one on planet Earth is worshiping this God. No one on planet Earth. When Noah was on the earth, what did the Most High God said? He found Noah righteous. That means everybody on the planet was unrighteous according to his standard. Noah was the only one he found righteous, and because he found Noah righteous, Noah was able to save his wife and his 3 sons and their wives. Did you know that Noah has brothers? Did you know that Noah has cousins and friends? Did you know that Noah have neighbors? People he hang out with, people he grew up with? One day a wise man asked me, if you only could save 7 people on the planet, if you only could save 7, just 7, who would you take into the ark with you? And if you could only save 7 persons, that means you have to literally condemn the rest. By not choosing them, you condemn them. Think about that. Think about coming on the other side of the ark, knowing that you didn't choose your best friend that you grew up with. Or your best friend that you grew up with didn't choose you. Or your brother that you love so much didn't come into the ark. None of Noah's brothers came into the ark. None of Noah's sisters came into the ark. None of Noah's mother's not in the ark. Her father's not in the ark. They all ridicule him and think he's crazy. The Most High God saved 8 people, destroyed a whole billions of people. Destroy billions of people because he's the higher power and his word is law. And so now he's come back here, and why the earth is corrupted again. He could have destroyed it again, but he gave us a promise. You see, he gave us a promise. He gave a promise to Noah and his animal and the animals and every living creatures in the ark. He gave them a promise. And what was the promise? That he would never destroy the earth with a flood again. He would never destroy the earth with a flood again. Genesis 7. And the higher power said unto Noah, come thou and all the house into the ark, for these have I find righteous before me in this generation. Okay? So we see that he found just these people righteous. And verse 9 here. Okay, so chapter 9, and Yahweh blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth. That was their job, to be fruitful and multiply. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth and every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hands are they delivered. Every moving thing that lives shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given will be for meat. So when you look at all these things, everything on the planet at this point was put into Noah's hand. Everything on this planet at this point, right? And he has given us a promise that he will not destroy the earth with a flood again. And what was the promise? That when you see the bow, when you see the rainbow, he said, when you see the rainbow, this would be my promise to you and to all flesh, that I will never destroy the earth with a flood. Right? So that's what he did, ladies and gentlemen. He gave them a promise. And he says, I will not destroy the earth. Now, let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen, because I asked you many times here since you've been watching. Have you asked yourself the question? What is the promise that the Most High God will never destroy the earth with a flood again? It's the rainbow. Have you seen a rainbow? Have you ever seen one? Have you ever seen a rainbow? If you type the answer yes, you've seen a rainbow, then you would know, ladies and gentlemen, that you weren't around for the flood. So how is it that you saw a rainbow, you weren't around for the flood? The rainbow is a covenant. See, this is the word that you must come to understand. If you understand these words, then what you're going to realize, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to come into a better understanding of truth. This word covenant is a contract. I'm making a contract with you and all the living creatures in the ark. Now, we have to remember, now we're in the line or the body of the ancestors in the ark, right? And he sent a rainbow. And the mere fact that you've seen a rainbow, that means the covenant still stand, and the covenant is with you. The mere fact that you see one. All right. And so now let's go back now to Revelation 12 now. So we're going to look at Genesis 12. We're going to look at Noah now, because we're talking about Black history here, ladies and gentlemen. You must understand this, because this is going to prove to you once and for all who you are if you can trace your lineage to the Atlantic slave trade. It's going to prove to you. So now here's Abraham. So the world is corrupted, and everybody's in rebellion against the Most High. And he can't destroy the earth because he said he's not going to do it with a flood again. So now what he's going to do, he's going to have to make his name known that he is the one higher power. Because at this point, everybody's worshiping whoever they want to worship as God. Some worship the sun, some worship the moon, some worship lightning, some worship rain, some worship trees, frogs, all type of dragons, and all type of crap people worshiping. Some worshiping the astrology, the stars in the heavens. So he called this guy in Genesis 12, and hear what he says to him. Now, Yahweh said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show you. Watch this now. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So you see what he did here? He consolidates himself into this one guy. The whole earth is in rebellion against him, so he consolidates himself in this one guy. He's making a covenant with this guy. And he says, first and foremost, you got to leave your father's house, because I ain't going to do what I got to do with you in your father's house. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, we have to get out and go back to the wilderness. Now, the wilderness is not Africa. It's not some Caribbean island. The wilderness is literally in the Philippines. It's literally in the Philippines. But anyway, that's another thing. We got to get out. We got to go over there so he can rebuild us. But anyway, watch this. Watch this now. So Abraham depart, as our higher power has spoken unto him, and Lot went with him, and Abraham was 75 years old when he depart out of Haran. So what did Lot do? Lot believed the Most High God. The first thing he did, he believed. He believed what the Most High God said. First thing he did. The second thing he did was pack up his stuff, and he left. Now imagine the Most High God come to you and say, hey, sell your house, sell your business, and go to a place that I'm going to show you. Now, remember now, if I said, come to a place that I'm going to show you, that means you have not seen the place yet. So the only way you're going to see the place is if you pack up and leave. It's a covenant he's making with him. But what's the promise? I'm going to bless those who bless you. I'm going to curse those who curse you. You shall be a blessed, and all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Watch this now. So he goes on, and he depart. Verse 5, and Abram took Sarah his wife, and Lot his brother's son, his nephew, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they have gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of the Canaanite they came. So where did they go? They leave from the Chaldeans, where his father lived, worshippers of false gods, and they came out of there and they went to the Chaldeans. Watch this now. Well, to the Chaldeans. And verse 7. Well, yeah, verse 6, he passed through a whole lot of different places, but verse 7, Genesis 12:7. And the higher power appeared unto Abraham and said, unto thy seed. Come on now. You're hearing me. Y'all hearing me. Unto thy seed will I give this land. And there built he an altar unto the higher power who appeared unto him. So where it was Cain, where was Abraham? Abraham was in the land of the Chaldeans. He walked to Canaan, Canaan's land. And the Most High God said, this land I'm going to give to your seed. So was Abraham going to get the land? No, the land was not for Abraham. The land was for who? His seed, us. Watch this. Watch this. And Abraham built an altar there, and he removed from hence unto the mountain, unto the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Hay on the east. And there he built an altar unto the higher power, and called upon the name of the higher power. And Abram journeyed, going on still towards the south. So now here's the east, and Abraham moving towards the south. So he's moving right. So when you go right of the east, so left. So how do you find the east, west, north, and south? You start in the east where the sun rises, and 90 degrees left is what's that? It's north. 90 degrees left is west. 90 degrees left is south. So if he's in the east, then 90 degrees right. So Abram was moving towards the right. Now, the Most High God said, every place you put your foot, I'm going to give it to you as an inheritance. So, man was doing a lot of walking. All right. And of course, Abraham went down to Egypt in verse 10, and you can read that whole thing. Now, what I want you to look at now is jump up to verse 15. Genesis 15. After these things, Genesis 15:1. After these things, the word of the higher power, Yahweh, came unto Abraham in a vision, saying, fear not, Abraham, I am thy shield and thy exceedingly great reward. I don't know about you, man, but I want that. I want that because that's built in me. So I want that. I want to know that my Father is my shield and very great reward. And Abraham said, Yahweh unto Yahweh, what will thou give it me, seeing I am childless? And the steward of my house is Eleazar the Damascus. So Eleazar of Damascus. And Abraham said, behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is my heir. So if Abraham had listened to what the Most High God said over here, he would have learned that he was going to have a seed. Because what did he say? I'm going to give you this land of Canaan to your seed. So when you come into the Most High God bothering him and tell him, you don't have no children, just wait upon the Most High. He that wait upon the Most High, he shall renew his strength. You shall walk with wings like eagle. You shall run and not go weary, and so on and so forth. Just wait upon him. If he said it, man, it's going to happen. But I guess he wanted it now. Where we at? Yep. And verse 4. And behold, the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come from out of thine own bowels shall be your heir. And he brought him forth about and said, look now towards heaven. Watch this. Look now towards heaven, and tell the stars if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be. You notice he kept using the word seed, but when you look at the number of stars is not one seed. Because you can't say seeds. A seed is a seed, right? Right? Now, if you have more than one seeds, you would have said seeds. But the word here is seed. But he's telling him to look up into the heavens and can you number the stars? And if you can number the stars, so shall your seed be. So he's telling him that what's going to come out of you is going to be as numerous as the stars in heaven or the sand of the sea. Watch this, right? So a seed doesn't mean one person, as we were taught to believe that the seed is one. The seed is not one person. The seed is many. The Most High God doesn't have one son. He has many sons. You don't believe me? Go into Job 38 and what the Bible says. The sons of God came to appear before the Most High God, and the devil came with them. He has more than one sons, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. All right. So don't let anybody think he tell you that he only has one son. He has more than one sons. But anyway, okay. Verse 6. And he believed. So Abraham believed Yahweh, and he counted it unto him as righteousness. So how did Abraham got righteousness? Did someone die on the cross to give him that righteousness? Did someone die for his sin to give him that righteousness? How did he get the righteousness? He got the righteousness. It was credited to him because he believed. He believed the voice of the Most High God, and righteousness was credited to him. All right, or counted to him. And verse 7, and he said unto him, I am Yahweh that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees. You see, I was the one who brought you from the land of the Chaldees to give thee this land to inherit it. And he said, Adonai Elohim, or the Lord God, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? So he said, so Abram is asking, how will I know that I shall inherit it? And verse 9, he says, and he said unto him, take me a heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. So here's he asking Abraham, Abraham asking the Most High God, how will I know this? So now he's going to enter into a covenant with him. Take this, take that, take that. Watch this now. Verse 10. And he took unto him all these, and divided them up in the midst, and laid each piece one against another, but the bird divide he not. And when the fowl came down upon the carcass, Abram drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham, and lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. Of great what? Darkness. Not light, darkness. This is very important. Not light that came upon him, but darkness. And he appeared, and he said unto Abram, know for a surety that thy seed shall be it. Listen, I want you guys to pay attention. Y'all need to pay attention. Please pay attention. Pay attention to what he's saying. How will you know these things? He says. Abram asked the Most High God, how will I know that I'm going to inherit all these things? How will I know I'm even going to have children? So what is the Most High God say? Take this bullock, take this goat, take this pigeon, come. And when he did everything, he's prepared the altar and he did everything, a deep sleep came on him. So no, Abraham is not in the flesh at this moment here, ladies and gentlemen. He's in the spirit. He's in the nuach. He's in a trance. He's in a vision. He's in a dream. He's seeing these things. And what did the Most High God said here? What he said here? In verse 12. In verse 13. Genesis 15:13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be stranger in a land that is not there, and shall serve them, and shall afflict them 400 years. So you have to look at the history, ladies and gentlemen. You have to look at the history books now and said, which people suffer affliction 400 years. See, these are how you find out truth. These are how you find out truth. Which people on the planet was afflicted 400 years? Watch this now. No, for surety. So this is before Abraham or Abram had any children. He never had no children at this point. So what was the Most High, the higher power, doing? Showing him the future. These things are written for us so we can see the past. So we're looking at the past at the time now of the last days, and we say, whoa, wait a minute. That's me. That's my ancestors. That's my people. And we can prove that historically. Watch this now. Watch this. 400 years. But listen to this now. Verse 14. Listen to verse 14. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy father in peace, that he's going to die. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. So he's telling him, you ain't going to see this, but this is going to happen to you. I'm showing you the future. I'm showing you what's going to happen to you. This is prophetic here. I'm showing you what's going to happen to you. Know this. So these are the signs that you need to understand why I'm telling you now that we are that people. We are the people afflicted. We are the afflicted, cursed people. And Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 through 68 tells you. It shows you. Just read it. Now, chapter 16 is Hagar and Ishmael. Hagar and Ishmael. Oh my goodness gracious. Shama, if I said that right. All right. Without going through the whole thing, I know some of you have read the Bible, you've understand a lot about the scriptures, but I'm taking you someplace and I want you to see where I'm taking you. So now I'm going to give you the rest verbally now. So here comes Abraham, and he made the covenant with the Most High God, the Most High God showed him what was going to happen to his children and the blessings and so on and so forth. But it's been some time after he said it, nothing is happening. He's going to bed with his wives and just nothing happened. No, he's not having no children. So he started to get worried. When is this going to happen? I'm getting old. When is this going to happen? So him and his wife came up with this idea of surrogate mom. It's a culture too. It's something that's in their culture. Surrogate mom is not something that we invented in the 21st century. That's been down there, way, way down there. When a woman was barren and couldn't have a child, what would happen in the culture is that the father would go into their concubine or slave indentured servants. They would in turn impregnate that servant, and that servant would go in at the time of birth, sit in the lap of the mother's, the wife, and birth the child through the legs of the wife who is barren. And in so doing, that mother will be, that surrogate mother would have no ties to the child after that, other than maybe feed the child or whatever. But the child would not be his. We do it today. Only that the father doesn't go into the woman. We take our sperm, we jerk off, which is illegal by the way, and take the sperm, and then they pregnate the egg, and the woman they do it differently today. But the father would have gone. The father back in the days would have had the pleasure of having sex with the wife, with the surrogate mother, right? And that's what they did. So they came up with the idea, and that's what they did. So they have a son, Ishmael. Now, Ishmael is not the promised seed. He's not the promised seed. Ishmael is the work of the man and the woman. That's their way of trying to help the Most High God. Listen to me. Don't try to help the Father. Don't try to help God. Don't try to help Yahweh. You're just going to get into trouble and give yourself a world of pain. If Yahweh says something, trust me when I tell you, he's going to see it through. Might take you some time. Might not come when you want it, but it's coming. If he ordained something for you, trust and believe me, it's going to happen. So anyway, they went ahead and they did this thing. So they have a child and they think this is the child that is going to be the promise, but this was not the child. And this child was 13 years old when the Most High God came back. So it was 13 years that passed, ladies and gentlemen. And the Most High God came back. You understand what I'm saying? And tell them here in verse 18. Okay, the 3 visitors, chapter 18. And Yahweh appeared unto him in the plain of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself towards the ground and said, My Lord, Adonai, my Adonai, if thou have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourself under the tree, and I will fetch a morsel of bread and comfort you your heart. After that you shall pass on. For therefore are you come to your servant? And they said, So do as thou hast said. So let me tell you something. If you don't think the Most High God can send a visitor to you, or he can come to you and eat with you, you have another thing coming. And most of you don't realize that the Most High God always come to earth. It's his domain. He owns this thing. You might see him and don't even know you're looking at him. He might be talking to you, don't even know you're talking to him. You see a stranger come up on you and roll up on you, ask you how you doing, and you don't even realize that he come and visit you, because you don't know that he come in the form best suited for you sometimes, and he comes to your aid. You don't know, so you have to listen for the word, listen for his voice. So Abraham certainly know who he was, and told him come on in. Anyway, so they make the bed and the cake. They eat, and after they eat, um, verse 13, and Yahweh said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child with an old man? So if you go through this whole piece here, and verse 10, it says, and he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life, and lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and were stricken in age, and in ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of woman. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child? So the Most High God came unto them when they were waxed old, and and she probably have no pleasure for man or whatever the case may be, but she laughed. She said, you know, she, she she was pretty much vexed. She was vexed because she's like, now I'm old. You're gonna tell me I'm having a child when I was young and healthy. You didn't come to me, but now you're gonna come to me when I'm old, because it's not your doing. It's not of your doing. I am doing this thing to you. I am the one who's speaking, say the Most High. Anyway, they have the child. So what I want to see now, so they have two child. They have Ishmael and they have Isaac. Ishmael is not the seed promise. It is with Isaac. So the promised bloodline is not with Ishmael. You understand what I'm saying? Though Ishmael comes from Abraham's loins, that means he carry a certain haplogroup, and you can chase his lineage back to Abraham. He's not the seed of the promise. The seed of the promise comes through Isaac. And then Isaac had two sons, and those two sons, ladies and gentlemen, are you got to read there on verse 21, chapter 21, the birth of Isaac, right? And then you just keep going, and Isaac and Rebekah, verse 24, Ishmael, Isaac and Amalek, and the death of Abraham in 25. So chapter 25, you see the death of Abraham. So you see Abraham get to see Isaac. Isaac grew up. He's now have the promise. The seed is not with Ishmael. Ishmael was sent off, but the Most High God blessed him anyway because he was part of Abraham's seed, and 12 princes came out of him. But the seed and the promise is with Isaac. Then you go up now and you see Isaac had Jacob, and then Jacob had 12 children with 4 different women, and he becomes the name was changed because he met with the Most High, and he hold on to the angel, and the angel wouldn't let go of the angel, and the angel struck him in the hip, and he was blessed, and his name was changed to what? From Jacob, Yahweh Akab, to Yahweh Sheral. That's how his name was changed. So now the promise is with Jacob, not Esau. See, Isaac have 2 children, but Esau was the one the father hated, and Jacob was the one he loved. So we have 2 tree here. We have 2 tree, our 2 branches. We have Ishmael and Esau, who carries the DNA, but they are not of the promise. The promise is going now to the children of Yaosheral. And these are the children of Yaosheral that entered into Egypt. They went into Egypt where they became slaves after a certain time. And how did they become slaves? Because they were numerous and they were strong. They work in the sun all day. They become stuff. They multiply. They were shepherds, man. You see what I'm saying? And after they become slaves in Egypt, you know what happened? It wasn't 400 years before God take them out of Egypt, because you have to understand now, if you look at the time when Joseph went into the time when Jacob went, Joseph went into Egypt and becomes the second highest ruler in Egypt. You must look at the time frame now and say, okay, from the time of Joseph's death and all of those generation dead and the new king arise, the slavery in Egypt lasted about 250, 270 years. So the whole 400-year gap was not completed when the Most High God came and took them out and lead them to the promised land. And lead them to the Mount of Sinai, not Sinai, but Sinai, right? So you got to look at, you see, when you look at the scripture and understand who you are, you're going to see some things. The Father make a covenant with our father Abraham. Abraham went and did some things, brought another son into the picture, which was of his seed, but was not of the promise. Then Abraham had Isaac, and Isaac had two sons, two twin boys. One that was not of the promise, which was hated by the father, and one which was loved. And then that son has 12 children, and all 12 of them were inducted into the son of God. If you look at Exodus, go to Exodus 3 now. Let's fast forward a little bit, and you will see Exodus 3, where the father send Moses into the to talk to Pharaoh. Father, come, let me see here. Moses said that. He said, let him go because Israel is my firstborn son. But he come to him, when he come to Moses here says, I am the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And he's just sending it to him and all, what is your name, and all these different things. And when you go to Pharaoh, this is what you must say: let my firstborn go. Israel is my firstborn. Let him go so he can come out and worship me. Right? And so, but I will harden his heart, and so on and so forth. Right? And so after now, for the first time, Israel start to see the Most High God for themselves. They start to see the miracles. They start to see the wonders and the sign. They start to see it. And then he delivered them out with his outstretched arm, and he brought them to the mountain, and he tested them. The first thing he tested them on was the Sabbath. He gave them the Sabbath. And he said, I'm going to give you the Sabbath to be not only a sign for you, but I'm going to give it to you as a test to see if you will obey my laws, precepts. Read it, man. It's all there. And then he brought them to Mount Sinai. And then he told them, he said, Mount Sinai. And he said, listen, if you obey my voice indeed and keep my commandment, then you will be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine. And then he comes down and on Mount Sinai, and this was the act of worship. You see, when he says, Pharaoh, let my children go so that they'll come out and worship me, what was their act of worship? Keep my laws, keep my voice, obey my voice, keep my covenant. And so that covenant relationship has been handed down from father to son, father to son, father to son, until us today. But because of our disobedience, the Deuteronomy curse caught up with us, and now we're in slavery. We forgot our name, our culture. We were given the name of our slave masters. Our culture was stolen from us, our God's name. And he said it there. You will no more see it. The way by which I spoke to you, you will no more see it again. The language that which I spoke to you, you will no more hear it. And if that's why you got to read Deuteronomy 28:15-68, you're going to see it. But you can read through the whole entire Bible, man. It's beautiful when you look at the typologies and the chiasm, and when you look at the scripture now, you can see it from the perspective of your eyes, that you are the people of the book. You are the people of the promise. Man, let me tell you something. It's not, you will never be the same. Their act of worship was the 10 Commandments. You must not do these things. Don't have no gods before me. You must not do that. You know what I mean? Remember my Sabbath day to keep holy. Thou shalt not kill, steal, and so on and so forth. And what's happening to us, ladies and gentlemen, when we heard his voice, we're so afraid. Our ancestors were so afraid because, see, everything he's commanding us not to do and everything he commanded us to do, we were doing the opposite. So when we hear it, we say, oh, for goodness, we're going to die. So we were afraid. And because of that, there was a mediator. When Marsha brought us to the land, to the Mount Sinai, it was supposed to be the Father who was supposed to be our our instruction. He wasn't going to, he shouldn't be telling Moses to tell us. He was telling us himself. He was leading us himself. And the covenant, a new covenant is coming where he's going to put his laws in our minds and in our hearts so that we can obey him again. People don't understand these things, ladies and gentlemen. And because they don't, they're reading the Bible wrong. You are the children of the book. If you can chase your lineage through the Atlantic slave trade, it is all about you. You bear the name. You're not Smith and John and Sewell and George. And no, that's not your name. That's the name of your slave masters. You are Ya'osher Al. You're not Igbo or Africans or Jamaicans or Trinidadians or Europeans or whatever. No, you are Ya'osher Al. That's who you are. You are the true seed of Abraham, the promise. You're not the only seed of Abraham. I showed you that before. You're not the only seed. But the seed that he's talking about is the seed of the promise, Ya'osher Al. You notice from Ishmael was sent off, you never hear anything about him again until, a little here and there. You notice when Esau was sent off and Esau and Jacob, because Jacob stole Esau's birthright. But after Esau and Jacob Esau blessed Jacob, and you never hear anything about Esau again, because that's the lineage and the seed is from Jacob. You are the children of Ya'osher. You are that seed. I know it's crazy, man, but it's true. Let me tell you something. You want to be awake? You want to be awake and run up and down out in the rain and snow? Understand this truth. You are that seed. You are the children of the curse. And the curse is passed down. And most people don't understand this. Look at this. Look at this. Exodus 20 and verse 5. And it's Genesis 20 and verse 5. Listen to it. Thou shalt not bow thyself down to them, nor serve them, for I, your higher power, your Elohim, I'm a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So what the Most High God is saying, he visit the sins of the father upon the children for 4 generations. No one day said your children will be in a land not their own and they'll be enslaved 400 years. 400 years of slavery. And if you think about the America, if you were to chase the lineage from America, right? From America, 1619, when the first slave entered America, so-called, to 2019, 1619 to 2019 is 400 years. Did you know that come next year, 2024, will be the true Jubilee year? Most people don't know that. And on a Jubilee year, what does the Most High God do with his people? He resets them. The Jubilee, I know the so-called, I don't want to say it because you get the so-called people who say they are and are not. They celebrate their calendar Jubilee already. But it's not the true Jubilee. The true Jubilee is celebrated in the year 2024. And I really believe between 24 and 25, you're going to see some changes happening on the planet, because the Satan children knows the truth as well. And they're trying to bring the world back to a one world government. And if you think they're not going to do it, you have another thing coming. They will do it. I'm going to tell you why I know it for certain. Because you have to now go back and to Daniel chapter 2. When you look and when you put everything together, you gotta put everything together. Let me read certain things to you. I'm gonna call it a night now. I'm getting tired. And oh, man, I've been here 2 hours and 9 minutes. All right, let's go to Daniel 2. I want to show you something. Let's go to Daniel 9 first. Daniel chapter 9. Let me show you some things, man, because let me tell you something, guys. Everything fits together. Everything fits together. Let me show you something. So we go to Daniel chapter 9. Let me show you something. Prophecies, as I'm finding Daniel 9, here we go. Let me show you something. Before I read that, I heard a guy, they have this new movie on Netflix now, or where I see a bit of shots a bit about it. They were talking about Satan is the god of the seas, right? He said he's the god of the sea, and they were trying to say that when the reason why so-called Jesus walked on the water is to show that he has power over the domain of Satan. Okay. And then they said when the demons that was cast out of the man who was legions, they went into the pigs, and the pigs went and drowned, the demons drowned them all into the sea. So they're using that now to say that the sea is the domain of Satan, that Satan's domain is in the sea. Prophetically, what they don't understand, when you look at sea in the Bible, prophetically, sea, the word sea means nations. And now people don't understand. Prophetically, it means nation. Satan is the prince of this world. He runs the government of the world. Remember, I tell you, there's a government within the government. There is a church within the church. The very United States of America. Did you know that there's a United States within the United States? You don't know these things. You're not doing any research. There is a religion within the religion. There is a school within the schools. People don't realize that. That's why when you hear, I remember when Reagan liked to talk about the government. The government. And you look at Reagan, you thought he was for the people because he spoke of the government so much. And you'll hear our president, current president now, talk about the government, the government, the government, the government. Which government they talking about? And when they say, when Barack Obama was on the scene, he says, what we have done. And he's giving this speech, what we have done. And you're thinking the we is inclusive, because what you don't understand, there is a message for the initiated one. And there's a message for the Goam. And the English language is the language of confusion, because one word have 5, 10, 15 different meaning. So when you're using the word we, you're using a double entendre. We is anybody. We is anybody. And so when they're talking about we, it sounds like they're talking about the massive of people, but they're not talking to the massive people. They're talking to themselves. We, the bloodline. And if you don't think they're a bloodline, it's a family of bloodline that runs the world. I don't want to get into all of these things that the Most High God has opened up my heart to see and my mind. I see a lot, man. You see, in this brain here, there's a lot of stuff in here, because I'm not depend on anyone to tell me these things. I pray to the Father and ask him to show me, reveal these things. And what I did is I just literally just say, I want to know you. Because you see, when you know the real thing, and you know who you are, reference to that real thing, everything, you can see everything clear. When if you look at the movie Matrix, is they're all in the computer, and they're all programmed to see something that they're not supposed to see. That they're programmed to see something that they're supposed to see. But it's when they were free from the program, they were able to see the world as it is. Well, I am free from the program, so I can see the world as it is. And I don't need to plug up into the program to get back in there to say, oh, no, I just speak and people can hear my voice. And this is why the Mashiach said, my sheep hears my voice, because when they hear it, they'll come. And no one can come to me unless the Father drew him, right? So you can't hear this unless the Father opened up your mouth. As a matter of fact, I tell you, he was the one who sends the strong delusion. He's the one who confound the language so that the people couldn't understand each other. So it's the same thing that's happening in the world. The strong delusion is not sent by Satan. He's the strong deceiver. He has deceived the people. But the strong delusion is sent by the Most High God. He's the one that sent it. And most people are hearing me now and they think I'm speaking parables. But some of you are hearing me because you're still here. And if you're hearing me, it's because the Most High God has opened up your ears and opened up your eyes. And you hear something. You heard something that's making you go, but that makes so much sense. And then you keep saying that to yourself. Gee, that's because it's doing something in your subconscious mind where he planted his truth. He planted his truth. You see, the kingdom of heaven has to be unlocked, And I want people to realize it's already in you. It's stored up in you. But you need a key, the key to unlock it. That's what the Mashiach said. You have to unlock the kingdom. That's why he gave us the keys to the kingdom. And before you can even receive it, you have to repent. What is repent? Repent is to stop. It's not to change lane and go forward. Repentance is to stop and come back. It's to come back to me because we have gone away. This world has taken us away from him. We have gone far and far and further into the abyss. And he's saying, stop, my son. Stop, my child. Stop, my daughter. Turn around. Come home to me. If you return to me, he says, I will return to you. You see, most people don't understand this, but it's keep going. It's keep going. It's going around that wheel. It's for hand to mouth, work to bills, hand to mouth, buy this, consume this, hand to mouth, work to bill. Go watch this movie. Go watch this sports, and go watch this next series of things while laws are being made to govern your life, and you have no idea what those laws are. Our president comes in and he signed 33 executive orders. Less than his first 100 days in office, 33. And most of you don't even know what an executive order is. And usually it's Congress that makes laws, and then it's given to the president, and then he signed the law he signed the bill into law. But an executive order doesn't go to Congress. An executive order bypasses Congress, and it bypasses all the procedure, and it goes on the records. And once it goes on the record, it becomes a law. So they found a loophole, and that's why each president comes in, they sign these laws that is geared to govern your lives, and you have no idea what these laws are. You don't know what they mean. Right now, we just found out that how many acres has been given over to China, all kind of different. Anyway, I don't want to get into all that because that's not a here, not there. We're not of this world. So these are the things that you need to understand. Laws are very important. The Most High God, our Yahweh Elohim, gave us laws. And those laws will, if you keep those laws, you will. It's how you show your love for him. If you love me, keep my commandments. That's what love is all about. But okay, let's go to Daniel, and then I'm gonna show you Daniel 2, and then I'm gonna call it tonight. All right, so Daniel chapter 9 now. Daniel chapter 9. Listen to what Daniel says. Daniel says this. He says, in the first year of Darius, son of Aharius, of the seed of the Medes, which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans. Who are the Chaldeans? The Chaldeans were the Babylonians, right? And the Medes are the Persian kingdom, conquered the Babylon kingdom in the year 538 BCE, right? So you must understand what's going on here. So Daniel is in captivity. He's in captivity, but he has earned a position, or a high power position, in captivity because he deciphered a dream. Pray to Yahweh, and Yahweh give him the understanding of the dream. That's what I'm going to take you to Daniel chapter 2 real quick. But let's look at that. So here he is in the reign of the Medes. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of years whereof the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 weeks. How many? 70 weeks in the desolation of Jerusalem. And I set my face unto Yahweh to seek to set my face unto Yahweh to seek by prayer and supplication with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. I pray unto Yahweh my Elohim, and made my confession and said, O Adonai, the great and dreadful Elohim, keeping the covenant, there goes that word again, and mercy to them that love him. What is to love? What does loving the Most High mean? And to them that keep his commandments. So who is getting this love from the Most High? Those that keep his commands. But what I want to draw your attention to is this 70 weeks that Jerusalem was going to be destroyed. And so you have to look in the history now and see, when was Jerusalem destroyed? Remember, the Babylonian kingdom has destroyed Jerusalem, right? The Babylonian kingdom has destroyed Jerusalem, burn it to the ground, take all the things and all the articles and bring them to put in their kingdom in the temple of their God. What a disaster there. And then the Medes, the Persian kingdom came over and take over, but Darius wrote a edict, a law that the children of Yahushua will go back and build the temple. So they went and built another temple, and that temple was destroyed. But remember now, when Herod came, Herod built a new temple, because this one that was, he destroyed and rebuilt a new temple, but he made that temple out to the God of the Romans. So that temple wasn't the temple. Anyway, but AD 70, that Jerusalem, the temple, was destroyed in AD 70. So for the first time in a long time, the children of Yahushua didn't have a temple to worship. The Roman Empire scattered the Jews from Asia Minor all the way into Africa. That's how we end up in Africa. We flee persecution from Asia into Africa. And then from Africa, we were sold into slavery by Africans. And so don't be mistaken. Africans and Arabians are the first slave masters. They never sell their people. They sold their slaves, and we were their slaves. They round us up, and then the Portuguese came in, and then England came in, the Spaniards came in, Germany came in, Italian came in, France came in, Switzerland came in, and all these, Denmark came in, all these our country, which was the ruin of the Roman Empire that came to dissolve in AD 476. These are the entity, our nation, that sold us into slavery. And it was all done by the hands of the Most High God. So, why I wanted to bring you to the 70 weeks? I wanted to bring you to the 70 weeks to show you we're coming up on the 70th Jubilee, which is the year 2024. Everything fits together. All right, let me show you Daniel chapter 2. And I have to go now. I really do. I got to go put out the garbage. My wife told me long time ago to put out the garbage. I don't want to forget it. So I'm going to put the garbage out so the truck can come and pick up the garbage in the morning. And I do want to eat something before I go to bed. So, but this is much, much more important. And I did eat something already, but I'm a little hungry. I ate something around, a little bit around 4:35. So yeah, it's about 5 hours now. Yeah, I'm rather hungry. All right. So, all right. So Daniel chapter 2, you got to read Daniel chapter 2 now. Because Daniel chapter 2 have so much to say. Daniel chapter 2 have so much to say, my friends, to show you what happened. So I want you to read Daniel chapter 2 when you get a chance. And I want you to see how the Most High God has showed us the future. Just like he took Abraham, our father, and he showed Abraham the future and said, hey, listen, your children will be in the land not their own. They'll be enslaved 400 years. But after that, I'm going to come punish the nation. And you have to understand that all of the nation that sold us a slave is not punished yet. It's not punished yet. America, you have something coming. All right? America is going to be, anyway, you don't want to live in none of these islands. You don't want to live in, listen, here's the country you do not want to live in. And their affiliates. You don't want to live in these countries and their affiliates. You don't want to live in Germany. You don't want to live in France. You don't want to live in Switzerland. You don't want to live in Portuguese. You don't want to live in any Spaniard country. You don't want to live in America. And you certainly, what's the next one? Switzerland. Hold on. It's coming to me. Wait. It's coming to me. Yes. Germany, France, Italy. You don't want to live in any of those countries. Those are the nations that stole us in slavery, and they have a punishment coming. They're waiting a punishment. So, good luck to you if you want to stay in there. That's why I say, come out of her, my people, that you may not be what? Partakers of her sins and of her plagues. So there's a warning for you to come out. We're not enslaved in that the Most High have to send a prophet to speak to our slave masters to say, let my people go. His people is not in bondage. When he took them out of, in Exodus 20, what is the first thing he says? Hear, O Yahusharal, I am Yahweh who have taken you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other Elohim before me. That's what he told the children of Israel. Can't say that now because slavery, we're not in bondage. We're in slavery, but we're not in bondage. We're not being mistreated. That time and period was cut short in so-called 1865 and the Emancipation Act. But the emancipation doesn't mean free. Many people think when you hear the word emancipation, they think it's free. It doesn't mean free. Emancipation means transfer. You could look these things up, man. Anything I'm saying to you, I'm telling you the truth. It means to transfer. So to emancipate is to transfer. So what Abraham Lincoln did, he transfer ownership from private ownership to state ownership. So you're not free. You think you're free. You have freedom in the cage, but you're not free. You can roam here and roam here, but you're not free. You have no economics. You own nothing. You own nothing. Even the very house you think you own, you don't own it. You don't own nothing. You have no land. You have no land, no defense, no nations, no country of your own. You don't own nothing. Everything you have is what the system allows you to have. And they can come and take it at any time. Wait till there's a transfer of the currency. Wait till there's a transfer of the currency. This is going to be gone very, very soon. We're going to operate not on the dollar, on the power of the dollar, because you can trade this with anyone, but we're not going to operate on this anymore. What we're going to operate on now is a central currency. A lot of people are buying Bitcoin and all these things. Bitcoins and all these coins, they're all a way to just get you focused on something else. It's a distraction. The only coins that's going to have any value, the only coins that's going to have any value is a central currency, which is a digital program currency, which is on the rise. It's here. All the infrastructure is there already. That's why you have the World Bank, the World Council of Churches, the United Nations, all one world government is here. All the infrastructure is here. What's taking them so long to what's the word I'm looking for? To apply all this to the nation. They need some sort of catastrophic. Then I can't say much. I'm censored, so I can't say much. So you then they need some sort of disaster, something. They need something because remember I tell you about executive order. You ever heard about this? You ever heard about FEMA? FEMA have more power than the president. Did you know that? FEMA can displace people in nation, change currency. You don't have a clue what's going on here. You just got to look at some of these executive orders. What you can do is when you get a chance in your spare time, instead of watching TV, go punch up executive orders. Because there's only one person in the United States that can write executive orders, and that's the president. Go look up some of them and see what they're about. And then you're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be shocked. But anyway, so Daniel chapter 2, the Most High God show us the future. He showed us the four kingdoms that would rule the world. And the four kingdom was the Babylonian Empire, the Medes and the Persian Empire, which the Medes and the Persian is two separate kingdoms, but they become one. So it's one kingdom, Medes and the Persian. Then the Greek Empire. Okay, good. We're back on. Yes. Let me see. So the Roman Empire, right? So, and the Roman Empire dissolved in 476 AD. So in 476 AD, yeah, this kind of thing happen all the time when these kind of messages are coming in. But anyway, Facebook and YouTube, we're stuck. Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, I'm froze on there now. They do this to me all the time. But anyway, for you on Instagram and TikTok. So 6 AD, the little horn or papacy, papal bull, came up within that time, and the papacy struck down three of the 10 nation that came out of Rome when Rome was divided into 10. And so now the papacy is ruling over the seven nations, and the seven nations that are the seven heads of the empire of Rome. That's why we call it Church of the Spaniards. These are the seven nations has direct handling of the spreading of the Atlantic slave trade. Us. Now there's one thing left. The Most High has commanded us to leave these lands and go to the wilderness where he will come and meet us. And when he comes, he's going to restore our power under a ravenous bird. He's going to restore our power. And what you have to understand is he said he's going to gather us from all the countries which he has scattered us. That's what's left now. When that day come and you see these things start happening, run to the mountain because you're going to see it. Remember now, he says, the Mashiach says, when the abomination that causes desolation standing in the most holy place, know that the time is at hand. When you see the laws that is taking away your freedom and funneling you into a box, and you can't do this and you can't go there and you can't do this. Remember now, they just bring out a trial run for the past 2-3 years, if you know what I'm talking about. See how many of you fold into that box and gave up your freedom and receive in yourself the due penalty of that decision. And what most people don't realize is how many people drop in like flies. But anyway, I'm telling you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see something come up on this world. And for those who have eyes to see, I hope you see it. But for us, man, we are the glory of the Most High. And he promised to keep his shield over us. And we just look to him. And, I'm telling you, we're at a place now where it's going to get really, really serious. You have to understand that if the children of Yaoshua Al doesn't come together and call upon his name, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, no, this is not a scare tactics. I'm not trying to scare you. I don't know if you were saying that to me. FEMA only has more power when given the power from the president. No, darling. FEMA have power. The executive order was already written for FEMA. As a matter of fact, I have the executive order. I think it's one executive order 12190. I think it is. It's already given. It's already signed. All they need is a disaster, something to create a disaster, and then FEMA can come in and take over. The Patriot Act will suspend the Constitution of the United States, and that was signed by President Bush. Y'all don't understand what's going on. Anyway, like I said, there's just whatever. Anyway, that's all I got to say tonight. For those who hear this message, may the God who created the heavens and earth be with you and protect you and guide you into all his truth. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. I'm not here to scare anyone. You know, when Noah was telling the people that God is going to destroy the earth, you know how many people thought he was crazy? They see this man building a boat on dry land. And he's building this boat and he's building it with one specific wood. All the trees around, but this guy's looking for one specific wood, shitting wood. And he's building this ark. It took him 120 years to build it. So for 120 years, he's telling the people, God is going to destroy the earth with a flood. They never seen rain, so why would they believe it? At the end of the day, how many people got saved? And what many people didn't know, if you read the story of Noah, this missed most people. Because when Noah and his family and the animals went into the ark, no rainfall, man. No rain came. You know, when we were told the story in church growing up, we told as Noah entered the ark and the rain and the flood came. No, read the Bible. Flood never came. When Noah went in the ark, there was no flood. So Noah was in the ark 6 days before the flood came. Go read it. Go read it for yourself. 6 days. So they were in that ark 6 days. Can you imagine what was happening outside the ark? Can you imagine what was happening outside the ark? People were laughing. People were saying scared tactics. People were saying this, all kind of something people were saying. But on the 7th day, when the flood water burst and everything burst open and the rain started fall, you know how many people were trying to knock down that door just to get into the ark? What that tells me is that by the time people understand the truth, it's going to be too late. If you look at the scriptures and you look at the Bible, what does the Most High God does every single time? What does he do? He sent his prophets to go tell the people to repent, turn away from their sins, and come back to him. And what do? They kill some, they stone some, they laugh at some. So it's the same thing that's happening. You're going to hear things here that you don't hear no place else. Everybody wants to win you, send money this and entertain you. I'm not here to entertain you. I think I got time. I got a wife upstairs that I love very much, that I want to go up and hold and hug. I would rather spend my time with her than spend my time with y'all. I'm going to tell you straight up right now, and that's no lie. I'd rather spend my time with her. You understand me? And I don't have to come up on here. I'm not looking for anything. I'm not asking you for anything. I have everything I need. He gave me everything I need. I have him. I have my very great reward. I'm not asking for anybody. I'm not asking you to send me any money or to no, he gave me. He gave me. He put me in a place where I don't have to ask for money. So why am I here? What am I doing this for? For likes? And please. If I'm looking just for likes, I'd be here on every day. I'd be trying to entertain these platform every day. I'll be on here today. You won't see me for another week, because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't come on here to entertain you. I don't come on here because I want to come on here. I come on here because I'm inspired. So that's why you don't see me say, meet me next week. I don't have a regular scheduled program. That's why you can't find me. You got to put your bell up to see when I'm on, because I don't come on my own. I'm inspired. Like, he hit me up with something and I'm like, woo. And I go to my family, I ingest that thing first, and then I spit that out of my family, and then I come give you. Because one thing I've learned over the years, you say you don't cast your pearls to pigs. Because if you cast your pearls to pigs, they trample it on their foot, then they come tear you to pieces. I'm not gonna. That's what our Mashiach said. That's what we learned from the Hebrew Matthew. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. I'm not here to entertain you. You can take it for what it is. Go back to your regular schedule life. That's on you. For me and my house, man, shucks. There's nothing on this planet. There's nothing on this planet that I hold more dear than the word of the Most High. Nothing on this planet. And I want to give myself the opportunity. And that means if my wife decided she's not rolling down this road, then hey, I kiss her. Good luck to you. You're going to need it. Because nothing will stop me. You understand me? Because none of this was given to me by any religion, by any person. This was given to me by him, by the Most High. And he led me to where I'm at today. And he led me to the people who is his people. And I'm meeting up with these people. And I'm like, wow, this is incredible. Let me introduce you to the people he introduced me to. There's a ravenous bird, Yaoda. Go check him out on not on Facebook, on YouTube. Yaoda. His handle is the Ravenous Bird, Ravenous, RAVENOUSBIRD, Ravenous Bird. Go check him out. Go check him out, man. Because let me tell you something. This in our days, he is sending his ravenous bird. He prophesied this. Look at this. Look at this. It was prophesied in Yeshayahu, Isaiah 46, verse 11. It was prophesied. So I'm not telling you something that I think it's a hoax. It was a hoax. It was prophesied. Listen to this. Calling a ravenous bird. This is Isaiah 46, verse 11. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man from the what? From the east. From the what? From the east. Make no 2 cents about it. He has to come from the east. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, or he has to be doing his ministry from the east. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man that execute my counsel from a far country. Yes, I have spoken it. I will also bring it to pass. I have purposed it. I will also do it. We have a ravenous bird amongst us, but how many people know about this? The ravenous bird was chosen from among the people of God to send to the people of God. Man, please, I don't care if you believe it. I don't care. I really don't care if you believe it. But you owe it to yourself to go look into it. That's on you. That's on you. Verse 8 of Isaiah 46, remember this and show yourselves, men. Bring it again to mind, O you transgressors. What is a transgressor? One who disobey the laws of God. Remember the former things of old. So what is the Most High God doing to us here? He said, remember the old things. Remember things that was said before. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh and there is none else. I am Yahweh and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do my pleasure, all my pleasure. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man that execute my counsel from a far country. Yes, I have spoken it. I will bring it to pass. I have purposed it. I will also do it. Hearken unto me, you stout-hearted, and that are far from righteousness. What is righteousness? You're far from believing. Our father Abraham was credited righteousness because he believed. So you are far from it because you're having doubts. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my right and my salvation shall not tarry. And I will place salvation in Zion for Yahosher my glory. So who is the glory of the Most High God? Us! We are his glory, created in his image. Yahosher my glory. So, all right. I love you guys. Do what you want. I gave you the word that was given to me. It's up to you now. Like I said, I won't tell you I'll be here tomorrow. I'm not promising you that. I got to be inspired. This is what I was supposed to preach today. I preached half of it in the shop, and now I'm preaching the other half here. I don't know when I'm coming back on, so I'm asking you to pay attention to your bell. Put me on notice and look on your bell. And when your bell rings and your notification come up and I'm on, then that's how you're gonna get it. Because I'm not here, like I'm not trying to be a evangelist or someone who trying to win your trust. No, I'm giving you the word of the Most High. Thus say the Most High, and that's all I preach. And whatever you do with it, that's on you. All right, until next time. Peace out. Peace out.